Nice jacket.
You guys ready? Coach, we'll start with an opening statement.
Okay.
And then we'll follow that up with questions.
All right. First of all, appreciate everybody here today showing interest in our program and the excitement for the 2019 season. We certainly are as a program, as a team and staff. Been working hard now since last Tuesday. We've been over a little over a week with some skill work. So we're 23 days out. Certainly there's a big challenge ahead of us. One thing that is positive is we do have momentum, particularly over the last 2 years or 3 years. If you look at regional considerations, we've been in 3 consecutive ones, but more importantly to me, are the body of work that you do before you get to a regional. We've been able to do that over the last 3 years, particularly the last 2, winning back-to-back conference championships, with last year both winning a conference and tournament title, which is not easy to do. So a lot of positives on this team moving forward. We have a lot of people who have experience, who have tasted that success and in our place, to try to pass it on to the new and younger guys as we move into the season. So 23 days out, still working, still a lot of unanswered questions. Hopefully I can answer your questions today as we start media day.
Matt Wallner as a pitcher, where do things kind of stand there? Where do you think he can be of best of use?
We're going to use him as a starter. I don't know if it's going to be weekend or if it's going to be midweek, but certainly if you look at our team and moving into the 2019 season, that starting rotation is a little bit of a question mark. I know that Matt, hopefully he's healthy. Last year, he kind of broke down a little bit from the freshman year. We didn't use him as much last year. He kind of follows a similar path of Taylor Braley. Taylor pitched more his freshman year than he did his sophomore year, and then he pitched a whole lot for his junior year. So that's kind of what I see in Matt in the role that he's going to play. But we're certainly going to utilize his arm and his abilities on the mound, but it's probably going to be as a starter.
Can you speak to your thoughts about fall ball, coming out of fall ball, how you felt about things?
I thought we played very clean. I thought it was a time to try to get a lot of people, both new and old, whether they were young or junior college transfers, on the same page. And I think that's what the fall is all about. We encourage people to make mistakes so that we don't make them in the spring. It's a teaching time of the year. It's a time where we really just try to figure out their roles and how they're going to help us. So a lot of positives coming out of there. Certainly it's kind of a short period, but it's the same for everybody. Everybody has to deal with the same timeline. But I thought coming out of the fall that we grasp everything that we do in our program very well as we move forward into the spring.
What were the areas that Matt really had to work on pitching wise?
Honestly, it's just trying to double up with position player. Last year we were afraid to throw him in bullpens because of the hip that he injured there in the fall. So we didn't want to take away from his abilities in the outfield and with the bat. So we were a little skeptical and hesitant to use him last year and really work with him in the pins like he needed. But this year, he and Coach Oz were able to do a lot of pin sessions, worked on a split finger to help with that slider and fastball, and saw a lot of positive things. He stayed healthy, he stayed strong, and he felt good at the end of the fall.
Do you think he'll be able to balance position playing and pitching well this season? Do you think he's up to that?
I think particularly when you look at a two-way player in college baseball, as a starter, they have to be somewhat physical. And if you look at the guys that have been able to do that for us, Braley, he was a physical guy. Matt's a physical guy. It's a lot of stress. There's a lot of workload that goes on that, both mentally and physically. And yes, to answer your question, I do. Hopefully he'll hold up. Injury, the body and everything will, but there's no crystal ball with that. All we do is work towards it and have a plan for it. That's kind of where we are.
And shortstop, where do things kind of stand there?
Good question. LaMarcus has held that position the last 2 years and played it very well for us. It's going to be somebody new, I think a couple of candidates moving forward will be Storm Cooper, who had a really good fall for us. He's much like a Nick Dawson that we had back in 2015-16. That was a really steady player. Didn't make the great plays, but made the routine plays, and that's what we asked for that position up the middle, because the majority of the plays are routine plays. But Storm played a very good shortstop this fall. He's versatile. We can move him from short to third and in other positions. Will McGillis is another guy that could see some action there as well. So I think those are our two candidates at shortstop.
Coming out of the fall too, any other spots where you're kind of still waiting to see maybe what happens here in the next few weeks in terms of the starting lineup?
Not really. I think it depends on, we're gonna make some moves when Wallner pitches. Obviously, that's gonna open up a spot in the outfield, so that's gonna give somebody else an opportunity, and hopefully he's prepared and accepted the role for that opportunity. But the two key positions, honestly, that we lost were Luke Reynolds at third base and LaMarcus, the left side of the infield, which played so well for us last year defensively, and of course Luke's bat played in the middle and made everybody else so much better. But those are areas that we worked on this fall. At third base, Danny Lynch, Timmy Lynch's younger brother, true freshman, was very impressive over there, both defensively and offensively. A lot of the same that Timmy brought with us. I think maybe a little bit ahead of where Timmy was as a true freshman. Danny is, but still the same high baseball IQ, knows how to play the game, very competitive, focused in what he does, comes out and practices like he's going to play. So the young man's been really impressive in the fall camp and moving into the spring.
Anybody in the bullpen, like you had Nick last year, move to start? Anybody in the bullpen you can see maybe move to start and say on Wednesday, or maybe even during the weekend if you work Wallner into it?
Yeah, there's just so many different options that we can use 23 days out.